Welcome to Live Oak. Please rise in body or spirit for our gathering hymn, number 153, Oh, I Woke Up This Morning.
Good morning and welcome, beloved community. I'm Juraska. My pronouns are they, them. In this sacred space, we gather as one, celebrating the tapestry of our diversity, honoring the boundless love that unites us all. Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church is unambiguously, unapologetically progressive, and our doors swing wide to embrace all who seek a welcome, peace, welcoming place where we celebrate the LGBTQIA+ community, where we know every identity is a divine expression of humanity, where we commit to the work of dismantling systemic racism and other oppressions, striving for a world where equity, compassion, and justice are the cornerstones of our shared experience. May our worship today be a source of inspiration, a wellspring of courage, and a call to action. Welcome, dear friends, to this place of love, acceptance, and progress.
Good morning. My name is Michael Lenyard, and my pronouns are he, him. And I want to give a special welcome to any visitors we have today, in person or online. If you haven't already, I encourage you to stop by our visitors table in the narthex and after the service and sign up for our weekly newsletter. That way we can meet you, answer any questions you may have. Today we are pleased to have with us A.J. Juraska, a Unitarian Universalist and seminary student at Austin Presbyterian Theological Seminary. Prior to going to seminary, A.J. worked in nonprofit leadership for over a decade, where they oversaw analytics and evaluation. While in school, A.J. has continued to support nonprofits around the country as a part-time consultant. In their spare time, A.J. enjoys registering people to vote, volunteering on campaigns, and advocating for justice and equity. Please join me in these words from our historic faith. Love is the spirit of this church, This is His law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, speak in truth and love, and to help one another. We unite with UU churches around the world by lighting our flaming chalice, the symbol of our religion. Today, Teddy and Roger will be lighting our chalice. Here and at home, we light it today with these words. We face a challenge to democracy, a challenge that calls us to hope in moments of despair, a challenge that asks us to persist in the faith that we can and must make a difference. May our flaming chalice recommit us to the truth in our words and our actions, that we may live as we believe people should live.
Hello, my name is Daria. I'm gonna sing Burn, Burn, Burn by Zach Bryan. Everyone seems a damn genius lately, TikTok talking, late night TV, still so much I have yet to know. We get dressed up just to go downtown in some big old fit. Head to Paris on a late night flight and find a bar and get in a fight and write a few poems on a sunny balcony. I wanna be a child climbing trees somewhere, breathing in the fresh outside air before I knew this life was unkind. I want a well-trained dog on a couple of acres, a kind lady and a place to take her, a few good friends I can count on one of my hands. I know I'm bound to die one day, so when I reach those golden gates, I pray to say I did the best I can. And sit with my mother and the dearly departed, send a prayer down to the broken-hearted, let them know it all turns out just fine. Love me is to know me is to love me, and to hate me is to wrong me. I prefer my nights so lonely, love, blues, guitar, muscle cars, and gin. I'm a simple man, I don't need much, just my simple songs and some human touch. I'm tired now, so I'm bringing my ass home. So let me go down the line, let me feel it all, joy, pain, and sky. So let me go down the line, we all burn, burn, burn and die. So let me go down the line, I wanna feel it all, joy, pain, and sky. And let me go down the line, we all burn, burn, burn and die.
Today's reading comes from the book, Us, Getting Past You and Me to Build a More Loving Relationship by Terrence Real, therapist and creator of relational life therapy. Because us, consciousness, means embracing the unity, it also means realizing, centuries later, the inchoate dream of true democracy. democracy among people and groups, democracy not as an ideal, but rather as a guiding principle, a personal practice, a map of how we should live our lives. That one person or group is no connection to anyone else. Fiction of an independent self, nationalize over the partners, and over the planet we will awaken, or we will. This world does not belong to us. We belong to one another. Thus ends our reading. 31 years, Live Oak has been a beacon of acceptance, love, and inclusivity in an area where our values often challenge the status quo. In a world where divisiveness and intolerance seem to grow stronger, we firmly believe in the transformative power. We invite you to make a financial contract that every gift, large and small, is a we'd like to donate electronically. We recognize the gift of service with the Rose of Recognition Award, given to an individual who exemplifies the giving of time and talent to help Live Oak advance our mission. Mike Schultz from the Executive Committee will now present this month's award.
Hello. The Rose of Recognition is a Texas UU tradition in which we show our appreciation for a volunteer who has shown exemplary service to the church. We are lucky to have a congregation filled with talented people who consistently give their time and talent to making this the beautiful and vibrant church we enjoy. For her work coordinating the fall and spring campouts every year, we ask Jennifer Swan to come forward. All right. I'm not done yet. Jennifer, on behalf of Live Oak UU Church, so you'll have to stand in this. Right. Anyway, it is my honor to present you with a rose and to publicly show appreciation for all the time and energy you spend setting up the camping trips, promoting them, and working so that everyone feels included and welcome. And now, with the congregation, please join me in saying thank you. Thank you.
Your financial gifts allow us to continue this kind of good work. Now, in the past, as you may recall, we've received an update on our budget, church budget. And today, our treasurer, Catherine Enyart, will give us a brief budget update.
Good morning. I'm Catherine Enyart, and I humbly serve Live Oak as your treasurer. As such, I also serve on the stewardship team. And in the past, you may recall, or maybe not if you're new, we held a pledge drive every fall. And the pledge drive was the information that we used to create our budget. More recently, what we've done is change the process. So instead of having a pledge drive at a specific time of year, we carry over any pledges or financial commitments from the previous year that just automatically are in there. And any time throughout the year, people can make a change, make an adjustment, let us know if you want to increase your pledge or if you have a circumstance where you need to make other changes to your pledge. We can help you with that, but we have an ongoing pledge drive now. So we are very grateful for our financial commitments. We decided to give a monthly update so you all would kind of be aware of what's going on with us. And it goes in the newsletter, which it came out this past Thursday before I get up to speak once a month, only once a month. And so currently in June, we are 42% of the way through the year, and our budget is looking good. We are slightly ahead in terms of income and slightly behind in, no, I'm sorry, other way around, slightly ahead in expenses and slightly behind in income, but it's still tracking as it would like a cash flow does. If you have any questions or you want more detailed information or anything that you need help with regarding your pledge, you can contact me at treasurer@liveoakuu.org or speak to one of the board members and they'll know what direction to point you in. So thank you all for your generosity.
Let this time of offering be a reflection of our shared commitment to making a positive impact on the world and a reminder that our Unitarian Universalist values guide us not only in our beliefs, but also in our actions. Thank you for your presence and your contributions to our ongoing journey of building the beloved community here and in our wider parish.
Good morning. I'm Chris Jarman, and I'm your Director of Lifespan Faith Development. Yay! And I have a story to share with you today. I have adapted a story called The Circles All Around by Brad Montague to fit our congregation this morning. And I have a story helper, Julia. Julia, will you come on up? And Joel, I decided I'm not going to use this mic. I'm just going to set it right here because we decided to do things differently. All right, this is Julia. Julia has a magic wand. You want to show them? The magic wand can draw things with your imagination. So Julia, draw us a circle in the air. Can you see that circle? Can you imagine it? Picture it in your mind. All right, let's tell our story today. Oh, and by the way, we're going to ask you to participate today. So just have your listening ears on. We begin by drawing a circle on the ground along each of your shoes. A safe little place for just one person. Nobody in the circle but you. You could keep this circle closed to everyone but yourself, but that would be like a library with just one book on the shelf. Yeah, that doesn't work. So, Julia, let's draw a bigger circle for you and your family to share. Welcome, family. Now you can see all that can happen in a circle full of care. It becomes a happier circle as more loved ones come to stay. Can I have like 3 people come join us? 3 people, just come join us. Yeah. And then we're going to draw our circle bigger again. Awesome. Wouldn't it be even better if your friends could come and play? I think all the kids, and if they need a grown-up or to come with them, they should come join the circle. And our circle can spill out all over the chancel and on the rug. Come on up. We're going to make this circle bigger. Yeah. We're going to draw that circle. So you stretch and you draw your circle even bigger than it's ever been, and let a few more people you know, they're welcome to come in. Come on, someone else, come join us. Come join us. Awesome. And the circles all around, as we create our circle, everywhere we go, there's a difference we can make and love that we can all show. Yet, there are still many outside the circle who are different in all they do. Though it feels slightly uncomfortable, we'll draw a circle for them too. It doesn't mean the circle is easy. It can get harder the more we share. But wonderful things can happen when love is known and felt everywhere. As time passes, our eyes open and we see that others, what we really care for, and that's what we do. And that's when we ask ourselves, well, what's this circle really for? What do you think? What do you think the circle's for? What do any of you think? Do you think in the circle we offer each other love? Yeah. Do you think we could offer each other, I don't know, support? Yeah. Do you think that maybe when we're in a circle with people we love, it can jazz us up? Yeah. And do you think that sometimes when you're in a circle and you're really tired, it can hold us up? Yes. Yeah, we hold each other. How about working together? What about when we're in this circle and we all work together and make collective actions to make the world a better place? So let us create bigger circles all around us for the rest of our days. Let our caring ripple out in a million little ways, in circles all around us everywhere we go. There's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. Let's just encompass the whole neighborhood, the whole world. Let's just bring in all, let's take our ripples outside of this building, outside of this community, and into the world. And as our circles grow and grow, we watch them with wonder eyes, remembering that the very first circle started with just the love that you hold inside. I wonder how we can continue to widen our circles of love and concern. And with that, our story is told. Let's thank our volunteers.
I almost joined the circle, but I realized I've been up here too much already.
You are part of the circle.
I am part of the circle. Thank you. Please rise as you're willing and able to for hymn number 124, Be the Guide.
This election season, I'm going to work smarter and not harder. I know this is an important election season. I know there is a very real chance that Donald Trump will be elected president again. I also know that the UU fifth principle is the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. And I'm all for that principle. But I'm going to work smarter and not harder because in prior years, I did too much as a team of one. I thought that sacrificing myself was worth the difference that I might make. I'm prone to what Terry Real calls romantic individualism. He's the author of our reading today, which comes from the book Us, Getting Past You and Me to Build a More Loving Relationship. He says that romantic individualists like myself are moved not by individualism, but the unique expression of individuality, finding and manifesting one's singular individual genius. In today's language, one would want to discover and express one's voice. I suspect that many people in this room are romantic individualists. It's a very UU way to be. We love discovering and expressing our voice. There's not anything inherently wrong with sharing our voices, but the problem comes when ego gets in the way and we share our voices at the expense of ourselves or others. On the flip side, Terry Real discusses the rugged individualist who believe in the code of individualism, the assertion of one's unalienable rights. While Real doesn't speak to how this shows up during the election season, based on his other examples, I imagine this might include people who believe in the right not to vote, or those who vote but don't feel that they need to do anything beyond voting. There may also be people who are burnt out or disillusioned with what voting can really do in this country. Real says, the preservation of individualism of either type has historically required the suppression of less privileged voices. The unacknowledged social underpinning of both forms of individualism is caste, privilege, and exclusivity. You and me consciousness is rooted in competition, as if resources were limited and only the strong survive. Us consciousness, by contrast, embraces the whole, acknowledges our relationship to the unseen, the orphaned, the exiled. Once we incorporate the perspectives of the excluded, priorities reorder. But how do we incorporate the perspectives of the excluded, especially when redlining, segregation, and gentrification, and so many other systemic oppressions keep us siloed from each other? Does voting even make a difference? How do we include these perspectives without losing ourselves in the process? I don't have all the answers, but I suspect together as a group, we can come up with more ideas than I can on my own. But I'll share a few to get us started. First, there's often more diversity within our existing universes than we realize. For example, we often assume that if we vote, everyone else does too. But you probably know someone who's never voted before. You probably know someone, maybe even you, who doesn't vote in every election. At the very minimum, as an all-ages service, we know that there are people in this room who haven't voted before. How often do you ask the adults you're with if they're registered to vote at their current address? Now is the time to make sure everyone you know who is registered to vote who can be. You can carry around mail-in voter registration cards and ask people if they're registered at stores, restaurants, social gatherings, and more. I love our Story for All Ages today because it reminds us that connecting with the circles around us matter, and we all have those circles. Research on best practices for getting out the vote affirm the importance of focusing on our circles. It's much more effective for us to reach out to the people that we know than to try to talk to complete strangers. Not that that's not also important. But when we make a case for voting to those with whom we already have a relationship, they are much more likely to listen. I bet you know at least one person who might face a barrier to voting, Whether it's transportation or understanding how to make sure their mail-in vote counts. It never hurts to ask people if they have a plan to vote. I know too many friends who just forgot to vote because they didn't have a plan. And it also helps to ask if people have questions about voting. You may even know someone who can't vote. I bet a few kids in this room wish they were old enough to vote. If you need some motivation to vote, try asking someone who's disenfranchised how they would want to vote and vote the way they would if they could. Here's the thing, maybe you aren't registered at your current address. I moved recently and it took me several months to update my address, and that's in a county where we have a great election commissioner who sent me multiple reminders to update it. Or maybe you have barriers to voting or questions about voting. None of us should feel shame for those things. Our first UU principle is the inherent dignity and worth of every person. Every person includes us. We can do everything I just said and incorporate the voices of those who have been excluded and still take care of ourselves. Not only can we do this, but it's an imperative. No matter the outcome of this upcoming election, systemic oppression won't end after Tuesday, November 5th. We must preserve our energy for the long haul. So how do we do this? First, we have to know where we stand. In maritime shipping, there's a concept called the plimsoll line. On a boat, the water must be under the plimsoll line in order to stay afloat. As you add cargo to the boat sinks lower in the water. Add too much cargo and the boat sinks. Ascension has a Center for Resiliency that applies this concept to resiliency among medical professionals, but it really applies to all of us. How is your plimsoll line? Have you taken on too much and are underwater? What cargo do you need to bail to get back below your plimsoll line? Are you sailing well above water and could take on a little more? Please do it. We need your help. Once you know where you're at, make sure you stay in your zone of resilience as best you can. We all get out of it sometimes. Our nervous systems are excellent at responding to environment and stressors. The longest nerve in our nervous system is known as the vagus nerve, and it affects a lot in our body, including mood, digestion, and heart rate. There are quick and easy ways to help settle our vagus nerve in moments of stress. No matter what the stressful situation, regulating your body and settling your vagus nerve can help you stay healthy and ready to stay in this work. One of the best ways to settle your vagus nerve is through vibrations. This can include chanting, singing, humming, buzzing, or my personal favorite, horse lips. I bet kids in the audience can help demonstrate some pretty good horse lips with me. It's where you go, let's do it all together on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. At the very least, it will make you laugh, and laughing is another great way to settle your vagus nerve. It also is nice when somebody's being hateful and you just go at them. Religions have understood the power of vibrations for millennia with chanting and singing. For example, in Hinduism, with chanting mantras like the word Om, or Gregorian chanting in the Catholic tradition. Resmaa Menakem wrote a book called My Grandmother's Hands, which talks about how we all hold racialized trauma in our bodies and how we can heal through body-centered practices, including the ones I've mentioned before. I want to save time for us to share ideas with each other, so I'll share just one last suggestion, which is remembering to have gratitude for small daily gifts. It's one reason why I love the song that Daria sang by Zach Bryan. It goes through several small things that bring meaning and joy to our lives. Examples in the song include getting lost on a back road, seeing God in the trees, knowing the warmth of the sun, and breathing the fresh outside air. A few small daily gifts that make me smile are freshly sharpened pencils, wearing cozy socks, and the smell of puppies. Or just puppies in general. I bring up these small daily gifts because when we see the election results, or we are at a hearing at the Capitol where people are saying hateful things, or when we turn on the news, it's so easy to get disheartened. Hate feeds on fear. Love thrives with hope. We have to maintain hope. Puppies give me hope. School supplies make me smile. There are people who want those of us who are queer and disabled and marginalized to stay small and be unhappy. Laughing in the face of oppression is one of the best forms of resistance I know. Alone we know some, together we know a lot. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to come up with a 15% solution for surviving and thriving this election season. A lot of times we feel like we have to come up with a 100% solution that solves the problem. 15% solutions, as described on the website Liberating Structures, are solutions that get us part of the way there, even though they don't solve the entire problem. It should be something that is totally within your control and that you have or can easily get the resources for. We're not going to fix voter disenfranchisement in Texas as individuals, much though I wish we could. But we are going to create a lot of change with our 15% solutions together. These 15% solutions aren't one size fits all. If you're like me and you tend to overcommit and go the romantic individualist route, your 15% solutions for surviving and thriving this election season might be focused more on how to prioritize. So my 15% solution might be maxing myself at one activist thing to do a week rather than multiple, or committing to texting 3 friends about an action and asking them to do it when I should be taking a step back, or picking one weekend a month to block my calendar from any scheduled activities. If, on the other hand, you're like my husband, who's more of a rugged individualist, who's great at taking care of himself but tends to undercommit, push yourself here. Examples for your 15% solutions for surviving and thriving during the election season might be registering to vote and voting, texting 3 friends about their plan to vote, or taking it a step further, committing to get 3 people to vote who didn't vote in 2020. If you really have the ability to take more on, become a volunteer deputy registrar, also known as a VDR, so that you can register people to vote. Also, if you're not sure if voting even matters, in 2019, a city council race in Cedar Park was separated by 2 votes. If 3 more people had voted, the election might have come out differently. And that's not the only local example. Voting matters, especially in what we call down ballot races, which are those local races. Think on your own for 1 minute, and I'll ring the chime when we should come back together. Start thinking about at least one 15% solution for surviving and thriving this election season now. Okay, I hope that was enough time to come up with your 15% solution. If not, you'll have another chance. So now we're going to take time to turn to someone near you and talk for 1 minute about your 15% solution. If you're with us in person and would rather not share, that's okay. Feel free to say no thanks to sharing, everything with consent. If someone says no to you, be grateful that they're caring for themselves and find someone else to share with. If you're online or prefer not to share, see how many more 15% solutions you can think of during this time. For those who are sharing, I'll ring the chime when it's time to switch to the second person. The first person will share their 15% solution now. So share with a friend what your solution was. Okay, make sure you're switching to the second person if you haven't already. Yeah, it's not on yet. I'm just going to run it. Yeah. All right. I'd love to get a few examples of things you came up with, and I was initially going to just repeat what you said, but I'd love to hear your actual voices. So I'm going to ask if my friend Eva can run a mic to people. So please raise your hand if you're willing to share your 15% solutions, and Eva will bring you the mic so that people on the live stream can hear you. So Eva, go ahead and go to someone who's got their hand raised.
I want to encourage my grandparents to vote.
Nice. Awesome. All right, let's get another one.
There is a lot of these rideshare companies like Lyft and Uber will offer free or discounted rides for people to go vote. A lot of people don't know about this. And so especially nonprofits in your area have connected with that. So very much like what we talked about last week with the rideshare program for the elderly, that does exist. So even if you don't need it, spread the word and let others know.
Nice. Let's get one more. I think there's someone in the back.
I love to cook, so having a get-together with some of the people in my circle and cooking for them.
Awesome. Do you want one? Was there one more? Yeah, let's get the one over here, and then we need to wrap up, unfortunately.
I've had success in texting my nieces and nephews who are of young voting age and encouraging them to vote and send me a picture of them with their little sticker, and they've done that.
Yes. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll be done. It's just so hard to stop with all these great ideas.
So I ordered, and I have them, 800 postcards to swing voters, or voters in swing states. I have them in batches of 50 with stamps. They're all ready to go. You have to just write the message on there and send them out October 26th. That is the day to send them, so you have plenty of time. So I have 200 left if anybody would like a batch of 50.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you. So these are all so great, and unfortunately, we have to move on. But I hope you'll share your ideas with each other at the fellowship hour. To reiterate the end of our reading for today, Terry Real points out, the world does not belong to us. We belong to each other. Care for yourself as you care for our broader ecosystem. The future of the world depends on you doing not everything, but just enough. Now, I invite you to join me in a time of reflection in word and in silence. In his book, My Grandmother's Hands, Resmaa Menakem talks about clean pain and dirty pain. Clean pain is the pain we feel when we stand up and say something even though we really, really don't want to, or the pain we feel when we care and we don't know what to do, yet we brave the unknown and do something anyway. Menakem says, dirty pain is the pain of avoidance, blame, and denial. We will now join together in a body-centered practice adapted from Resmaa Menakem's work. Take a moment to ground yourself in your own body. Notice the outline of your skin and the slight pressure of the air around it. Experience the firmer pressure of the seat beneath you or the ground or floor beneath your feet. Can you sense hope in your body? Where? How does your body experience that hope? Is it a release or an expansion? A tightening born of eagerness or anticipation? What specific hopes accompany these sensations? The chance to heal, to live a bigger, deeper life, to survive and thrive? Do you experience any fear in your body? If so, where? How does it manifest? As tightness? As a painful radiance? As a dead, hard spot? What worries accompany the fear? Are you afraid your life will be different in ways you can't predict? Are you afraid of facing clean pain? Do you feel the raw, wordless fear and perhaps excitement that heralds change? What pictures appear in your mind as you experience that fear? If your body feels both hopeful and afraid, congratulations, you're just where you need to be for what comes next. Let us hold that for a moment together in sacred stillness.
I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Well, in keeping with the idea that we all belong to each other, this community is a chosen village where our lives are interconnected. Part of the tapestry of this communal journey is sharing the significant milestones, joys, and sorrows in our lives and witnessing the diversity we hold. One of us may be celebrating a life event, while another is mourning a grief. And there is a beauty in that mosaic as we are reminded that the moments of life that are transient and ever-changing. Today, Teddy Van Winkle, it's a joy, I think, he says we made new friends at art camp. Julia Floyd, where are you, Julia? It's a joy, says, I'm going on an RV trip to South Dakota with my family. Do you guys have room for one more? Okay. Wayne and Linda McCullough report, and this is not a joy or concern as much as it is an open invitation. There are cucumbers for the taking on the coffee table in the fellowship hall. We do not want to take any home. And then last night, Reverend Joanna sent this sorrow to me and asked me to read it. For those of you who know Kat and Vic Tello, recently they shared the joy of their pregnancy. Unfortunately, they suffered a miscarriage. If you would like to send a card, their address will be shared in the Live Oak UU Joys and Sorrows Facebook group, or you can send an email to pastoralcare@liveoakuu.org, and that's pastoral care, all one word. Okay. May this community draw closer with our shared experiences as we celebrate life's triumphs and navigate its trials together. May we be filled I just wanted to see if she was awake. May we be well, may we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well, may peace forever.
May we leave this space with renewed commitment to democracy and to ourselves. May we have faith in one another as we move from me to we. And may we remember that as individuals, we are enough, and together, we are everything.
Your invitation to faith development. First, I want to say the nursery is open till 12:30, and you know we've started UU Summer Camp. And UU Summer Camp, thank you. Let's say that again. Right? UU Summer Camp is for all ages, from the littlest ones to the oldest ones. You know what? The world is really heavy right now, and we just want to have some fun. So we invite you to come out to Common Ground. Today we're doing a camp banner where you can put your mark on it, and we're going to decorate it and color it and get it ready and do our camp songs and just have some fun together. Also, if that's not your jam, that's okay. Out here in the fellowship hall at all the tables, you'll find activities to do, coloring, and at each table you'll see our tabletop conversations with 3 of the reflections from AJ today for you to go deeper into the conversation about the service today. So I think I got it all, and I hope to see you out there. Thank you.
Please join me in extinguishing our chalice with these words by Unitarian Universalist Wayne Arneson. Teddy, Roger, you're up. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Let us leave this service with renewal in our spirit and a song in our heart. Please rise for hymn 131, Love Will Guide Us. It has been a gift to be together today. Please spend the next 5 minutes talking with someone you don't know. Members, be sure to introduce yourself to any first-time visitors we have. They're the ones with the handwritten name tags. And show them where the visitors table and the coffee are. And may we all know the blessings of friendship.